Yeah, it's Storytime with Kenny on Laverita TV. I'd like to appreciate every one of you for your contributions to all the stories that have been shared so far. But before we go into today's story, let's go for a break. We'll be right back.
Laverita TV, where truth is told. Tune in, be inspired, your story unfolds. From darkness to light, Kenny's stories told. Redemption and
One game in 9 states. Adekunle Komolafe Foundation presents table tennis competition for all gender live in the city of Kano, Kaduna, Niger, Nasarawa, Kwara, Ekiti, Benue, Lagos, and FCT Abuja. Grand finale in Kaduna. Prizes to be won. First place 2 million naira, second place 1 million naira, third place 500,000 naira, and other consolation prizes. Date 9th to 26th of February 2026. For registration, visit www.laveritatvproductions.com. For sponsorship, advert, and partnership, contact the following numbers. Adekunle Komolafe Foundation Table Tennis Competition. A game you can't miss.
Welcome back. Here is the narration of today's story. My name is Ifoma. I'm 30 years old from Anambra State. Life has been a very beautiful one, and I've always prayed to God that I want to marry a supporting man, the man that will support my career and will never see me as a stumbling block to success. Everything was moving fine. I got a man, we got married, and it was an amazing wedding. And so far, God blessed us with 2 beautiful and amazing kids. And my husband's job was moving fine. But along the line, they said the company was actually folding up and they would need to release some workers. And my husband was one of the persons that were stuck in the organization. And we came back to square one. And at that time, my husband was doing a building project that was up to the lintel level. But after his job, we were feeding from hand to mouth. But one of those hot afternoons, like the usual strolling, I was actually strolling out. And I met this long-time friend. And we chatted and everything. She was like, "What happened to you?" With the way she saw me dressed and looking shattered. And she was like, "What happened to you?" That was when I narrated my whole story to her. And she was shocked because I was one of the best and most brilliant students in our department then. And she was like, "Okay, don't worry, I'll talk to my boss when I get to the office, and anything he says, I'll get back to you." And she collected my contact. At that moment, I was overjoyed because despite the fact that she has not spoken to her boss at that moment, but I had a little hope in me for over how many months my husband lost his job. And lo and behold, as she promised, he did it. She called me one of those afternoons and she was like, "Oh, my boss said you can bring your resume to the office." I was so happy. I picked one of the best clothes I had and I wore it. With my husband supporting me, I went there. So when I got there, did a little interview with the boss, and he was impressed by my performance. And he was like, don't bother, when would you like to resume?" I was shocked and surprised. I was like, "When would I like to resume?" So I don't mind resuming immediately. And he was like, "No, you have to go home to prepare." I said, "Okay, no problem, I'll resume tomorrow." He was like, "No, take your time, resume the following week." And the reason why I was willing to resume at that moment was I don't want to hear stories that touches. But he was like, no, don't worry. Just go home, take care of your family, and also prepare against next week. So money will be sent to your account. Drop your account with the accountant, while some money will be sent to your account so that you can get 1 or 2 stuff for yourself. I was overjoyed and I was happy. And the week I went home, so when I went home, I told my husband about the good news. My husband was very happy and he promised to support me. And at that moment, my husband was actually jobless because at that time we were feeding from hand to mouth. So my husband was very overjoyed and he was like, okay, we went to the market together, got some few items I'll be needing for my work resumption. So the following week I resumed and the secretary was like, the first thing you should do is go to the boss's office. He would like to see you. And when I went there, he was like, okay, let's talk about your salary. I was like, salary? He said, yes, let's talk about your salary. How much is your expectation, your salary expectation? And prior before that time, my friend already told me that if I'm asked about my salary expectation, I should say from 500 to 700k. So at that moment, I was like, I bet I should say 100k. What if I say 5 to 700k following what my friend said and they say, oh, we can't give you this job? But with faith, a little faith in me, I told him I don't mind collecting 500k. And I was like, 500k? Okay, don't worry. We'll be going for 700k. That is our basic salary for a start. I was overjoyed and shocked because that was the one of the best news I've had in a very long time. I started the job, called my husband and I told him about the good news. My husband was very happy. So right now it's been 8 months since I started the job. Mind you, though my husband do get a little contracts, but these are contracts that only fetch us 20 to 30k. So I've been the one taking care of the household after 8 months. And also, at the beginning, while I started my job, the house was at the lintel level. But right now, I've finished the house, finished everything, and we moved inside the house last month. In the month of December, which is this month, we're organizing end of year party in my organization. And despite the fact that I was a new staff who had actually come behind a lot of staff in the organization, I won the best staff of the year. Am I really for the best staff of the year? Is because I have been able to gain 7 big contracts for the organization. And in order for my boss to show his appreciation, what did he do? I got a car, my personal car. And also my salary will be from January next year, it will be tripled. I was overjoyed. That is, I'll be collecting my salary in millions. I was overjoyed that I couldn't wait to share the news with my husband. But what I thought was a blessing was actually a curse to him. Because when I got home with the joy and everything, I told my husband, see what is happening, see what is happening. I expected my husband to shout for joy and be happy. But what did my husband say? He said, I have to return the car back to my boss. Now you just resumed, you are just like almost 9 months in the organization. So why would your boss give you a car? So now he's actually telling me that it's either I return the car and resign from the organization, or I forfeit the marriage. At this moment, I'm confused. Me forfeiting the marriage means I'm going to lose every of the properties we bought together, and also my contribution towards the building project, which is he was only able to take their house from the foundation to the lintel level. I was the one who roofed the house and did everything, including buying of furniture in the house. I did everything from my salary. And now he's telling me it's either I return the car, resign, or I should pack my things and leave the house. And me packing my things and leaving the house, I have to leave my 2 kids behind. He said I'm not taking any kids behind. And this is the man that I've been feeding, I've been doing everything. But at this moment, I'm confused. Knowing the kind of economic situation in Nigeria, should I forfeit the job or forfeit the marriage? Because if I should forfeit the job, I'll go back to square one. And mind you, my husband is jobless. And this is a multi-millionaire job. And I'll also forfeit the car. Likewise, if I'm actually forfeiting the marriage, I'll have to pack my things out of the house and also leave my 2 kids behind. So right now I'm confused. A lot of people will say, oh, leave the job and hear to what your husband say. But what if I hear what my husband say and resign for the job? Would I go back to feeding from hand to mouth? Are my kids also going to attend the best school in the state? Because my husband's job right now, a petty job, cannot sustain us. Because at that time, before I got this job, we were feeding from hand to mouth. It was family members, neighbors, and friends that would be like, okay, I have this half mudu of rice, I have this I want to help you with. But right now, I'm not willing to go back to the life I was living before I got this job. No, not even to my enemies. And at the same time, I can actually forfeit the marriage, but I cannot leave my kids behind. So right now I'm confused. I don't know if there is a way we can go around all this. Being the fact that we actually did a court marriage, I am confused. I would like to get your opinions on this issue because I am at a crossroad. I won't like to make a decision I'll regret later in the future. All your opinions, your comments are highly welcomed. If you would like your stories to be shared, why not send an email to contact@laveritatvproductions.com. And to get more amazing and true life story from Kenny, why not sponsor the show? And for advert placement, you can also call the number scrolling down on your screen. And you can also follow us on all our social media handles. On X is Laverita TV Ltd. On Instagram is Laverita TV Ltd. On YouTube is Laverita TV Ltd. On TikTok is MWFW Dating. And you can also follow us on our Facebook handle, Laverita TV News NG and Adekunle Komolafe Foundation TV. That's all on Storytime with Kenny. See you next time when I bring more amazing and true life stories your way. I remain your host for the show, Kehinde Mohammed.
Storytime with Kenny, a story of hope. Laverita TV, where stories come alive. Kenny's story, a testament to the power of the drive. To overcome, to rise above. Storytime with Kenny, a story of hope.